the sum of an infinite GP is S is equal to A by 1 minus R, where mod R has to be less than 1. Only then you can sum up the GP. Now, what does mod R less than 1 mean? That it means that R must always lie between -1 and +1. Okay. So this in the morning, I had skipped this part. Okay. Remember, whenever mod R, that is the common ratio, is the modulus of the common ratio is less than 1, only then the sum of the GP, then only then you can add up the terms of the infinite GP to say S is equal to A by 1 minus R. Otherwise, if R is greater than 1 or if R is less than -1, you will not be able to sum up the GP. Okay, the infinite GP. Okay, so this is a very important condition, that mod R must be less than 1. Okay, so now with this in mind, we start with the problems here. Look at question number 1. In an infinite GP, the sum of the first two terms is 6, and every term is 4 times the sum of the terms that follow it. Sum of the first two terms is 6. So given here is sum of the first two terms is 6. That means T1 plus T2. Sum of the first two terms is 6. This is what is given to you, right? And what else is given? Every term is 4 times the sum of all the terms that follow it. Every term means, let us say Tn is equal to 4 times the sum of all the terms that follow it. What is the sum of all the terms that follow it? Tn plus 1, Tn plus 2, and so on. This goes on till infinity because we are talking about an infinite GP. So any term here, Tn, is 4 times the sum of the term that follow it. What are the terms that follow Tn? Tn plus 1, Tn plus 2, and so on, right? So these two are the conditions given. Now the question is, find the GP, that is, you list down the terms of the GP, and you also have to write down the sum to infinity. So we start with the first condition, T1 plus T2. But before that, let us assume that let the first term of the GP be A and the common ratio be R. Okay, let the first term of the GP be A and the common ratio be R. Therefore, T1 plus T2 is equal to 6 means what is the first term? A. And what is the second term? AR is equal to 6. That means A times 1 plus R is equal to 6. Let us call this number 1. Now we look at the second condition. That is, any term of the GP is 4 times the sum of the terms that follow it. Okay. Now what is Tn here? It is AR to the power of n minus 1, right? And what is Tn plus 1? It is AR to the power of n plus 1 minus 1, plus Tn plus 2 is AR to the power of n plus 2 minus 1, and so on up till infinity, right? AR to the power of n minus 1 is equal to, now if you simplify this, you get AR to the power of n plus AR to the power of n plus 1. Okay. And the next term you can also write AR to the power of n plus 2 and so on. Okay. Now AR to the power of n minus 1 is equal to, now from all this, you can take R to the power of n common. How can you take? You can take A common. From here, you can take A common and can write this as R to the power of n plus R to the power of n plus 1 plus R to the power of n plus 2 plus up till infinity. Okay. Who's Shantanu there?
Sir, not from our class.
Okay. So here, that means here we have a r to the power of n minus 1 is equal to 4a. You can write this as r to the power of n plus r to the power of n into r plus r to the power of n into r square plus up till infinity, right? Now from here you can cancel a from both sides and r to the power of n minus 1. Now from here you see you can take r to the power of n out. If you take r to the power of n out, what are you left with? 1 plus r square up till infinity, right? This is what you are left with. Let's call this um, let's call this 2. Okay, so now you see that 1 plus r square plus up till infinity is an infinite GP whose first term is where, let's say, where a is equal to 1 is the first term. And what is the common ratio? Common ratio is equal to r. Common ratio is equal to r. So therefore, what is the sum here? 1 plus r square plus up till infinity is equal to a by 1 minus r, right? Therefore, from 2, what can we get? From 2, r to the power of n minus 1 is equal to 4 r to the power of n into a by 1 minus r, isn't it? Okay. A here is 1. So a here is 1 because the first term is 1. Okay. So we get 1 by 1 minus r. This is the sum of this infinite g. That means you can write this as r to the power of n minus 1 by r to the power of n is equal to 4 by 1 minus r. Now you get r to the power of n minus 1 minus n is equal to 4 by 1 minus r. That means n plus n minus n will cancel here. R to the power of minus 1 is equal to 4 by 1 minus r. That means r to the power of minus 1 is 1 by r is equal to 4 by 1 minus r, right? Now you can cross multiply. 1 minus r is equal to 4r. That means 5r is equal to 1. That means r is equal to 1 by 5, right? What is the question here? The question here is find the GP. So for in order to find out the GP, you need the first term and the common ratio both, right? So we have found out the common ratio as 1 by 5. How do you find out the first term? Remember, we got equation 1 here. We got equation 1 here. Put the value of r in this. So from 1, a into 1 plus r is equal to 6, right? So that means a into 1 plus r is equal to 6. That means from here, if you solve, you get a is equal to uh, 5. Okay, you will get a is equal to 5 here. Okay, so this is the first term. So what is the GP? Therefore, the GP is a, ar, ar square, and so on up till infinity. A here is 5, a into r. That's 1 by 5, a into r square, 1 by 5 square, and so on up till infinity. So this is the GP. That is, you can further write this as 5, 1, 1 by 5, and this extends till infinity. So this is your required GP, right? Not only that, they have also asked you a sum to infinity. Second part. What is the sum to infinity? S is equal to A by 1 minus R. What is A we have found here? 5. And what is R we have found here? R we have found here as 1 by 5. So 1 minus 1 by 5. So this is 25 by 4. So sum of this infinite GP is 25 by 4. Okay. Is this clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
At least the calculation part. Go through these sums once again. I know this is a little fast, but we have no other option. Write it, go through these sums, go through the results, learn up the formula. This is nothing. If you know simplification, if you know the formulas, you'll be able to do it. Just because this is the start, you are finding it a little tough. Okay, number 2. Question here is calculate the least number of terms of the GP 5 plus 20 plus 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus whose sum would exceed 10,000, or was it 10 lakhs whose sum would exceed 10 lakhs. Okay. So let's write down the series. The given geometry series is, this is the series actually given. Sequence is not given. The given geometric series is 5 plus 10 plus 20 plus and so on. It has no end, right? That means is the nth term given here? Nth term is not given here. That means this is an infinite GP. Okay, infinite geometric series. Now, till how many terms will you sum up such that the sum would exceed 10,000, would just be greater than 10,000? Okay, so I say let the sum to m terms just exceed means is more than, just exceed 10 lakh, right? So therefore, this finite sum Sm must be greater than 10 lakh, right? And what is this Sm here? First term of the GP, right? You can write the corresponding GP also to understand. The corresponding GP is, write it as a set 5, 10, 20, and so on. Okay. So here, what is your first term? 5. So A, let me write the formula. A into R to the power of M minus 1 by R minus 1 must be greater than 10 lakh, right? Now what is A here? A here is 5. Put the value. R ratio, common ratio here is 2. 10 by 5 is 2. So 2 to the power of M minus 1 by 2 minus 1 must be greater than 10 lakh, right? So that means 5 into 2 to the power of M minus 1 must be greater than 10 lakh, right? Now the
Yes,
question
sir.
is how to find out. Now the question is how to find out this. Let's write this in a more simplified manner. 2 to the power of M minus 1 must be greater than 10 lakh divided by 5. That means 2 to the power of M minus 1 must be greater than, you cancel this with 5. That means 2, 0, 0. I mean 2 lakh, right? That means 2 to the power of m must be greater than 2 lakh 1, isn't it? Now the question is how to find out the least value of m. So in such a case, what you will do is you'll take logs on both sides. This is the rule. This is how you solve this kind of a sum. Log 2 to the power of m is greater than log 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, right? So from your power law, right, power rule for log, what you can write? You can write this as m log 2, isn't it? Greater than log 2 and then, right? That means m must be greater than log 2 followed by 4 zeros, 1 divided by log 2. Right now, from your scientific calculators, you can get the value of log. The value of log here will be 5.3010. Okay, obviously, we're talking about log to the base 10. Okay, you can write here base 10 because normally here in 11 and 12, we do not talk about base 10. We talk about natural log, but you can also take natural log here, no problem. But since tables are available for base 10, so that is why normally we talk about base 10 in such calculations. This is log 2 is, you can find out from your calculators, 0.3010. And now you can divide this to say m is greater than 17.611. So what should be the least value of m? If m is just greater than 17.611 and m is an positive integer, then what can it be? The first integer greater than 17.611 is 18, right? So that is your answer. So S18 is greater than, just greater than 10 lakh, right? That's your answer. Obviously, S19 will be greater than 10 lakh also, but we want the least value. S20 will be greater, S21 will be greater, but S17 is less than 10 lakh. Okay. S18 greater than 10 lakh, but S17 less than 10 lakh. So least positive value of M for which this GP is, the sum of this GP is just greater than 10 lakh is 18. Okay. Moving on to the next problem. Question 3. If 2/3 is equal to, so given here, 2/3 is equal to x minus 1 by y plus x square minus 1 by y square plus up till infinity. Also, what is given here? Xy is equal to 2. You need to calculate the values of x and y with the condition that x is less than 1. Okay. So we start with the first one. So we have 2/3 is equal to x minus 1 by y plus x square minus 1 by y square plus up till infinity. Okay. Now what you do here is you take all the x's together, get x plus x square plus you can take all the x's together, x plus x square plus x cube and so on. This will till infinity. And here you can take the y's together. So 1 by y, since I'm keeping a minus sign outside, this will be 1 by y plus 1 by y square plus 1 by y cube. That is why the sign changes within the brackets. Okay. And this will also be till infinity. Okay. So now this is from here you can take x out. You get again 1 plus x square plus up till infinity. Minus from here, you can take 1 by y out to get 1 plus 1 by y plus 1 by y square plus up till infinity, right? Now this is what? This is an infinite GP. So x, first term here is 1. What is the sum of this infinite GP? A by 1 minus r, right? So a here is 1, right? By 1 minus r here is x by 1, t2 by t1. This is your t2. This is your t1. So r here is x by 1. That means minus 1 by y. Now what is this? This is also an infinite GP, right? With first term as 1. So a by, what is the common ratio? T2 by t1, 1 by y by 1 will give you 1 minus 1 by y, right? So now you simplify this. Is equal to, you get this as x by 1 minus x minus, you can take the LCM here also, 1 by y into y by y minus 1, right? This is what you will get. So you can cancel these two y's. So you get here x by 1 minus x minus 1 by y minus 1. Now you take the LCM here, 1 minus x into y minus 1. So in the numerator, you will get x into y minus 1 minus 1 minus x, right? Which is equal to, now you simplify the numerator, xy minus x minus 1 plus x divided by x minus 1 into y minus 1. So minus x plus x cancels from here. So what is the next step? Also, you know the value of xy. See here, the value of xy is given. See, value of xy is given as 2. So put the value here. 2 minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Or you can multiply the denominator here. You can multiply the denominator here to get x plus y. Xy in fact. Xy minus x minus y plus 1. Okay, and now you can put the value of xy. 2 minus 1 is 1. Again, you put the value of xy here. Xy here is given to be 2. Right? So this is what you are going to get. 1 minus x. Okay, this is 1 minus x. This is not x minus 1. This is 1 minus x into y minus 1. So now if you multiply this instead of this, you are going to get y plus x minus xy minus 1. This is what you're going to get. Now you put the value of xy. Y plus x minus xy is 2 minus 1. So what you are getting ultimately is 1 by x plus y minus 3. Right? What is this equal to? 2 by 3. Therefore, what are we getting? Therefore, 2 by 3 is equal to 1 by x plus y minus 3. Cross multiply. You will get an equation in x and y. You will get 2x plus 2y minus 6 is equal to 3. That means you will get 2x plus 2y is equal to 9. That means you will get x plus y is equal to 9 by 2. Okay. Let us call this equation number 2. And which one is the equation number 1? Let us call this equation number 1. Now we will solve 1 and 2. So solving xy is equal to 2 and x plus y is equal to 9 by 2. How do we solve? Xy is equal to 2 means y is equal to 2 by x. Putting y equal to 2 by x in the second one, x plus y is equal to 9 by 2. We get x plus 2 by x is equal to 9 by 2. I take the LCM here, x square plus 2 by x is equal to 9 by 2. That means 2x square plus 4 is equal to 9x. That means the quadratic that you are getting here is 2x square minus 9x plus 4 is equal to 0. Made by middle term factorization, 2x square minus 8x minus x plus 4 is equal to 0. That means you can factorize this as x minus 4 into 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. That means either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to half. Now, can x be equal to 4? See here, see the question. Back to the question now. See, with the condition that x is less than 1, it is given, right? So x obviously cannot be equal to 4. So since x less than 1, therefore x not equal to 4 and x is equal to half, right? That is the value of x. What you have to find here? Calculate the value of x and y. So once you get the value of x as half, you can easily calculate the value of y. Xy is equal to 2, right? So xy is equal to 2 means put the value of x here, half y is equal to 2. That means y is equal to 4. So what are the values of x and y? X is equal to half and y is equal to 4. Fine. Now I would just like to mention here again, just to remind you that we are summing up this GP only because mod x must be less than 1. And we can sum up this GP only when 1 by mod y, that is the common ratio, has to be less than 1. That is, mod x less than 1 means x must lie between minus 1 and plus 1. And mod 1 by y less than 1 means 1 by y lies between minus 1 and plus 1. Okay. So that is, we can only sum up under this condition. Otherwise, we will not be able to sum up. See, that is why to be on the safe side, they have given with the condition that x is less than 1. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So next question is find the value of 4.23 and recurring. 23 is recurring. Now, if you remember in your class 9, 4.23, I told you with 23 recurring after the decimal is a rational number, isn't it? So
Yes, sir.
this number you can convert into a rational number with the help of the infinite GP. Okay, very interesting problem here. With the help of infinite GP, we will convert this to a fraction. Find the value of means to convert this to a fraction, right? Since this is a rational number, we can write it as a fraction with the help of infinite GP. See how. So we have 0.423 with 23 recurring, right? So this you can write as 0.423, 23, 23, 23, and so on. This will continue till infinity.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
this you can write as 0.4 plus 0.023 plus 0.00023. You can write it in this way, and this will continue till infinity. You can? Can you write this or not?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So 0.4 plus, now you convert this to a fraction, 23 by 1000. You convert this to a fraction also, 23 by, and then 5 zeros, because we are shifting 5 zeros up till infinity. So this is, you convert this 0.4 to a fraction also, you can write this as 4 by 10. Now from here, you can take 23 by 1000 common. If you take 23 by 1000 common, what are you left with here? You're left with 1 plus 1 by 100
100.
plus 1 by, and then you have 4 zeros. Okay, if I write the next term also, you'll get this. Okay, plus up till infinity. So this is 4 by 10 plus you are getting 23 by 1000, right? Now what is this? This is an infinite GP, right? With first term 1. Common ratio, this is T2, this is T1. T2 by T1 is 1 by 100, right? So common ratio is 1 by 100. First term is 1, isn't it? And obviously common ratio 1 by 100 is lies between -1 and +1, isn't it? So you can sum up this GP. So what is the A here? A by 1 minus 1 by 100. This is the sum, right? So this is 4 by 10 plus 23 by 1000. And if you take the LCM here, 100 divided by 100 minus 1, 99. That means you get here 4 by 10 plus, I think this will cancel here, 2 zeros, right? So you get 99 here. So 23 by 990, right? Now you can take the LCM here, 990, to get 4 into 99 plus 23. So you get 396 plus 23 by 990, which is equal to 419 divided by 990. So that means this you have converted into this, you have rational number in recurring decimal, you have converted into a fraction with the help of infinite GP. Okay, so this is a very common question in infinite GP. You can have a look at other problem of this types also in the textbook. Okay, so let us finish the last one also. I have 5 minutes and I'll be able to finish this one. Question is number 5. If S1, S2, S till Sn are the sums of n infinite GP, that means n different infinite GP, not one, okay, whose first terms of the are 1, 2 square minus 1, 2 cube minus 1, okay, and so on. So let S1, S2, S3 up till Sn be the sums of infinite GPs with common ratio with each having the first term, with each having their first term A1 is equal to 1, say A2 is equal to 2 square minus 1. That means the GP whose sum is S1 has the first term A1. The GP whose sum is S2 has the first term 2 square minus 1. A3 is 2 cube minus 1, and so on, right? So therefore, what is S1? S1 is equal to A1 by 1 minus R1, isn't it? Which is equal to, now see here, the common ratio is also given, right? Before that, let me write the common ratios also. With first terms this and common ratios R1 equal to half, comma R2 equal to 1 by 2 square, comma R3 equal to 1 by 2 cube, and so on. Therefore, what is S1? First GP is common, first term is A1 divided by 1 minus R1. So this is 1 by 1 minus half, which is equal to 2. What is S2? S2 is A2 by 1 minus R2, which is equal to A2 is 2 square minus 1 divided by R2 is 1 minus 1 by 2 square. okay, which is 3 by 1 minus 1/4, which is equal to 12 by 3. If you take the LCM, it should be 4. S3 is A3 by 1 minus R3. A3 is 2 cube minus 1. First term of this GP is 2 cube minus 1. And the common ratio of this GP is 1 by 2 square. So therefore the sum is 2 cube minus 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2 square, which is equal to 7 by 1 minus 1 by 8. Now you take the LCM, you get 56 by 7. So you get 8. So now see, the question here is calculate the value of S1 plus S2 plus up till Sn. That is, you need to find out the sum of each GP. You need to calculate this sum, S1 plus S2 plus S3 plus up till Sn, right? What is this sum? S1 here is 2, S2 here is 4, S3 here is 8, and so on up till n terms, right? Now you see, this is a GP series, isn't it? This is a finite GP, isn't it? Right? Whose first term is, right here. This is a finite GP with A is equal to 2 and R is equal to 4 by 2, which is equal to 2. Therefore, what is S1 plus S2 plus up till Sn? Which is equal to, what is the sum of this GP? A R to the power of n minus 1 by R minus 1, which is equal to simply twice 2 to the power of n minus 1. And that is your answer. Fine. So I'll stop here.